Hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not, and welcome to day 26. We're on Wreck-It Ralph. Okay. Y'all heard the door slam, right? And I heard a key. Okay, we're on Wreck-It Ralph animated film. I didn't see it when it came out. I actually watched this a few years ago with my son. Quite a few years ago now. With my son. It was on Disney Channel. We watched it. And I was surprised how much I liked it. Because when it came out, I was like, yeah, it doesn't look anything to me. Not a big John C. Reilly fan. So I'm just like, whatever. My son wanted to watch it. We watched it. And let me tell you, the twist in this got me the first time we watched it. I wasn't expecting it. We'll get to it. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. Even again on the second watch, I enjoyed the movie. So the story here is that Ralph is the villain of a game called Fix-It Felix. He destroys the building, kind of like a Donkey Kong type game. He destroys the building, Felix fixes it, and then all the people throw him out the building, I guess. And they're all part of this arcade. And so Ralph gets sick of being the villain all the time and attempts to go and become a hero. He needs medal. He believes he needs a medal to do that. And he ends up in a racing game and meets a little girl racer named Penelope who glitches out. And so he has to help her win a race and avoid King Candy. So, evil King Candy. He's the villain. So, yeah, okay, so we start off with sort of this is what my life is like, narrated by John C. Reilly as Wreck-It Ralph. And he hates his life because he doesn't want to be the villain anymore. He wants to be a hero, like I said in the synopsis, to be the hero. And what I like is what they did with this world. They're in an arcade. And when the day is over and the arcades are shut down, they go into this middle world. You can go in the middle world. You can go in there. And there's just a bunch of video game stuff. When the game is over, so they go in. It's like a little mall type situation going on there. It's pretty cool. And you get cameos from video game characters like Zangief from Street Fighter and Bison. Ken and Ryu show up here and there. Sonic is on like a little thing. Qbert is there. Like Cuber's the easiest video game character to get. He's in this. And Pixels, owned by different companies. Around the same time, I think. And yes, let's address this. A lot of people were mad because they showed these characters in the trailers. And they're only in those scenes that were in the trailers. And when the movie came out, there were people that were like, they advertised these characters, what the hell? But that's not what it's about. You watch the movie to watch the movie. It's not about those characters. They're cameos. They are cameos. So, after seeing Felix get a cake in a celebration, he decides, I'm going to go try to get a medal, and he ends up in this new war game. War games! No, not that. New, like a first-person shooter type game. And like Medal of Honor or whatever it's called. And the head general is Calhoun, voiced by Jane Lynch from Glee. And she's great in this. And this game, basically, you have to shoot up a bunch of cybugs. And, yeah, her character is programmed with this backstory where she was about to get married when cybugs attacked and killed her fiancé. That's dark for a Disney movie. And that's just a programmed backstory. And so now she's out there waging war on the cybugs. And Ralph's, goes in disguise as one of the other fighters. And eventually he's like knocked down the stuff. But then he doesn't know what he's doing. He steals the medallion and tries to leave, but ends up in a racing game called Sugar Rush. along with one of the cyborgs, because he's in one of the little space things. It's one of the cyborgs because he wakes it up. Or hatch. And yes, very much, this whole setup when he goes to get the medallion is verbatim Alien, or Aliens, whichever one. And, yeah. Bugs could be aliens, and Calhoun could be Ripley, for all we know. You know, for all we care to go for. But, so Ralph ends up in the Sugar Rush game. Meanwhile, Felix has gotten upset about Ralph not being there and goes to find him, because if they do that, they're going to, if they don't get it back, the game's going to be shut down. Going to be taken away, unplugged, so to speak. So on the way there, he happens to run into Calhoun, and they begin this unlikely partnership to track down Ralph and the Cybug simultaneously. During which they mentioned a couple times before this that Ralph was going turbo. And then, so when Felix mentions it to Calhoun, she's like, what? He's like, oh yeah, that's right, you just got plugged in. So he explains that Turbo was the lead character of a Turbo Time racing game. They got a whole bunch of plays, but a new racing game came along and Turbo got jealous. So he snuck into that game and won the race, causing both games to be shut down. And you think, okay, like even watching this, knowing what the twist was with this, you think it's just something they're going to say. Like the first time I watched it, I'm thinking this is something they'd say so they don't, you know, they put in there sort of thing they don't want to happen to the other games. And there's 3 games at stake here, technically. So they don't want that to happen again. That sort of thing. But they actually do come back to that later. So we're in the Canyon Land, basically, is what it is. The Sugar Rush game. And we meet King Candy, voiced by Alan Tudyk, doing a Ed Wynn impression. The voice is Ed Wynn. The mannerisms animated were that of his Mad Hatter character in The Wizard of Oz. Alice in Wonderland, excuse me. And, yeah. Very well done character. With a twist you don't see coming. Not really. I didn't. First time I watched it. But, yeah. So he's basically the main villain, and they introduce Vanellope Van Sweet, voiced by Sarah Silverman. And, okay, Sarah Silverman, at times in movies, can get on my nerves. I hated her in School of Rock. Not a big fan. She is fine in this. Her character is actually a pretty good character, and she doesn't get that annoying. And, yeah, so she and Ralph also form an unlikely partnership when she has her own self-made cart that are torn apart by other people. They don't want her to be in the race because she's a glitch, and they think that bad things will happen if she wins the race. They don't want to race with a glitch. She glitches out, you know, sort of thing. And she uses Ralph's medallion or medal that he won as a coin to get into the race. But these other girls destroy her cart, and so Ralph intercepts it and says, I'll help you. And they go to the cart creator minigame and create a new cart. It's all kind of messed up, but she liked it. And they're able to escape when they go right through a mountain. Even King Kenny doesn't know about the secret hiding place. And it is something to call back to. It's a cola mountain with a cola hot spring and Mentos. Now, they can use Mentos, but not Coca-Cola. It's just cola. a Mentos thing on the Mentos stalagmites, stalactites, whatever one come down from the top. Those ones. And yeah, you see it and you're like, okay, this is going to call back. Meanwhile, Calhoun and Felix are searching for the, Felix is searching for Ralph. Calhoun is searching for the Cybug. And they become sort of romantically involved, but she rebuffs him because of what happened to her husband, her fiance, so to speak. They never got married. And they separate. Felix gets arrested by King Candy and sent to his fungeon, which is short for fun dungeon, and two words that don't really go together. Although, if someone were to say a fun dungeon, that would sound like it would belong in an adult movie. But, you know, I'm just saying. So, Calhoun eventually finds that the Cybug that was thought to have drowned in a, what was it, like a chocolate milk thing, whatever it was, hot, whatever it was, the cocoa thing, meant to drown in that, but it didn't, it survived, and it hatched a lot of eggs. Which, there is one thing, I do feel that the climax kind of goes a little bit out of control. Okay. And there is another thing that I don't particularly like. It's something that's been in a million kids' movies and didn't need to be in this movie. King Candy he hacks into the thing and gets the medal back. He says, "Hey, Ralph, I'll give it to you if you destroy her cot and make sure she can't come back." And he explains to her that if she wins, the game will shut down. Which is a lie, but that's what he tells him. And he believes him, so he destroys her cart. And it causes problems. And yeah, it's unnecessary padding so that the runtime can be a little bit longer. It was like 90 minutes long or so. But it is, you know, it's padding. Just so he can rescue Felix. Felix fixes the cart. They give it back to her and they put her in the race. A little bit late, but she gets through the race. And in my opinion, all we needed for the climax was the race. The Cybug could have drowned, or the Cybug, because King Candy and the Cybug combined, the lead Cybug combined, they could have just done that. But just as Vanellope's about to win the race, King Candy's also racing in the race, which kind of leads into the twist, but it's like, wait, he's the king. Why is he racing? It doesn't make any sense. And he gets to be right in front. That makes no sense. And then it's revealed as he and Vanellope are the only ones left in the race. The other ones are not dead, but they just got taken out. Her glitching causes him to glitch out and reveal that King Candy is actually, drumroll please, Turbo. That's right. Sorry for that face. I don't know what that was. Turbo. From the Turbo Time game. It turns out, and they explain this about King Candy, the little gumdrop guy, whatever he is, that Sour Bill explains that King Candy hacked into the thing to delete Vanellope because she's actually supposed to be in the game, and deleted her and the memories of all the people who she is. And again, they go a little too far for this. We'll get to it. And, yeah. And so King Candy kind of just gets eaten by one of the Cybugs, the big Cybug, and eventually fuses with it. That's all you would have needed, is for him to fuse with the Cybug. Instead of zillion Cybugs rise up, and everybody has to evacuate. And Vanellope's not able to make it to the finish line because the bugs come through and kind of, you know, make trash of it, basically. I don't know. Again, this extends the runtime, because now there's a fight scene, and we gotta go back to that volcano. And so Ralph takes Calhoun's glider and goes to the Cocoa Mountain, the Cola Mountain, whatever, and starts to wreck, I'm gonna wreck you. It starts to break the Mentos stalagmite, whatever it is, down. And again, this feels like it's just as he needs, I need one more. As he's about to, King Candy Sidebug comes in and stops him. Every time he goes to do it, he's stopped and snagged away. He's like, come on, just do it already. No, because we have to do this, raise him all the way up, and he gets out and falls down and smashes it. It's just padding. It's padding. You just want him to succeed, and they keep snagging it away. Like, this movie could have been 10 minutes shorter. Had she just won the race, the thing converted back, but King Candy comes out now transmuted as a Cybug Turbo King Candy combination, not hibernation. That's not sleeping. Combination. Hybrid is what I meant to say. Hybrid. And then they fight him. That's all you need to have done. But no, because Calhoun says they can multiply, whatever. She was down there. She could have, like, blown up the thing. I blew up all the eggs, but one got away. We gotta make sure it doesn't. The egg, and that one fuses with King Candy. Big monster thing. Fight him after she's restored. And make it like she's, you know. They say she's the princess, so have her have powers that can help stop it. You know, that sort of thing. But, no, we're going to have a whole bunch of bugs. Unnecessary stretching out of the runtime. And even with the bugs and the fighting and all that stretching, it feels so long. He goes to smash it every time. You didn't need to have him try to smash it 3 or 4 times and get snagged away every time. It's just, no, it's tension, but it's unneeded tension. Okay? You know, just say, one more, but they stopped and they have a fight. He doesn't need to keep on retrying. He has a fight, gets carried up, and then drops down. Simple. Just simple. That's the only real problem I have with this movie, is that climax is unnecessarily long. But memory is they have her cross the finish line. Everyone's memory is restored, and it's revealed very unnecessarily and unexpectedly she's the princess, the ruler of the. Despite the fact that that's not what she looks like on the side of the game, because Ralph finds out that her picture's on the side of the game, so she is from the game. That's how he figures it out. But it makes no sense that she's a princess. It just, I don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense that because King Candy took over her spot, he was the ruler, she's the ruler. It makes sense, but then she's just like, phoom. Nah, I'm gonna be like this, and I'll be the president, and not in her dress. And then she's like, she's still glitching, which shouldn't happen, and it's not really explained why she's still glitching. She just is. And yeah, it'll fix it. Felix and Calhoun get married. They have a smooch. They get married. Ralph is okay with being the bad guy now, and everyone lives happily ever after. All the people are nice to him now, I guess. And yeah, the end until the sequel, which I'll cover next year. But yeah, this movie's good. I just feel like, I know this movie's like, what, 9, hold on. "101 minutes. 101 minutes. That's 10 unnecessary minutes. You could have had us at 91 and be done with it. You cut 10 minutes out, it would have been fine. Basically, the whole a bazillion bugs climax could have been taken out and just fought King Candy combo bug. Side bug King Candy combination fighter. That's all you need to do. You didn't need this big old bug thing. But I'm still going to say it's pretty good. So, what are your thoughts on Wreck-It Ralph? In the comments, let me sure like, share, and subscribe. And up next, we're going to finish off the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. At one time, that's something I could say. But it's Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Sebby. And with the longest of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, does it have the most stuff you could take out of to make it a shorter film? We shall see. Until then, thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.